Anybody else? They've moved me up a week, and I hate that, but that's part of it, I guess. They said my brain was getting confused, and I could have told them that. So, but everything else is going fine. Okay. All right, we'll turn this in and get this ready. Let's talk for just a moment about session 4, which is a perfect opportunity, the perfect opportunity. A couple of things. Hope you can read that. A couple of things. What is a zealot? A zealot. What does the word zealot mean? Passionate about something? You know anybody in the Bible that is actually a zealot? About all of them were passionate about something, right? But there was one of the disciples, one of the apostles, Simon the Zealot. We're going to meet him tonight. This is another one of the apostles that we have not seen before. We have not met Judas Iscariot yet. He's a zealot too, but they didn't call him the zealot. You can be a zealot for a good purpose or a bad purpose. Most of the zealots in Israel today would be Mossad. Of course, Hamas is a zealot, bunch of zealots for a bad purpose. Hezbollah is a bunch of zealots. If you saw the movie, what is it, Zan, about Israel going back? Robert Redford. I forgot. There's a movie that Israel going back to the Holy Land in 1945. The Salminio character in that film joined up with a bunch of zealots with daggers. Tonight you're going to see another one of those zealots. Okay, it's he was trying to get the government overthrown, trying to throw Rome out. And they give him a name. His name is Simon, very common name. A lot of people named Simon in the Bible. And they give him a brother. And his brother in the drama is named Jesse. That's a nickname. He's the guy that's laying beside the pool of Bethesda for 38 years. The one that Michael Henderson played in the drama. They give him the brother of Simon Zealot. Those are two brothers. And we go into how he was crippled, what happened to him. He fell out of a tree, and what happened to him, and the reunion of the two brothers, and so forth and so on like that. They also start with the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles. Anybody know what that means or what it is, what it started for, what it was all about? The Feast of Tabernacles. By name, what it means is that they dwell in temporary dwelling places outside. When I went down to the Temple Bethel in Oak Ridge to see that during the Feast of Tabernacles one time, the priest is living outside. The rabbi, he's not a priest, the rabbi was living outside in the little booth that they had built. He had TV out there. He had pizza brought in to him. He really was kind of doing pretty good, doing all right. They play bridge or canasta, I guess it's bridge, with a lot of the people. They come see the rabbi because he has to stay in this temporary dwelling place. The idea of it is when they lived in the wilderness for 40 years, they lived in temporary dwelling places. And so God says this will be a feast for you, the Feast of Tabernacles. It's one of the biggies, one of the big ones that they had to go to Jerusalem. The heads of the families had to go to Jerusalem during that period of time. It's one of those big feasts, okay? And they're showing how it's done. They're building their little tabernacle, their booth or their sukkot, and as it starts out. Let's see here. A couple of other things. There is another character being introduced of secret police. secret police. I don't know where they got this, but it's probably more than likely a little modern day thing. A secret policeman who is kind of like an FBI man. He walks around looking at people and so forth, and we're introducing to him tonight because the zealots are planning on assassinating a Roman official. And this secret police is watching them, checking out what they're doing. He's going to shut them down when the time comes. They have plans to kill an official. The zealots, they're going to use a term. I live in the Antonio fortress. I live in the Antonio fortress. Anybody know what the Antonio fortress was? Anybody at all?
Besides Jordan.
Yeah. The Antonio fortress. That's the fortress that's attached to the temple. It's where Pilate's judgment hall was. That's where Jesus was put on trial. The Antonio fortress, if you look at a picture of the temple, you see those four towers at the corner of the temple wall, those four corners up there. That's the Antonio fortress. Named for whom? Anybody? Mark Antony. Mark Antony. Okay? One of the Jewish triumvirates. Okay? And so that's basically his fortress. That's where Pilate had his judgment hall. In the Antonio fortress. And this man says, I live in the Antonio fortress. And the secret policeman says, that's not right. Nobody lives in the Antonio fortress. So you're going to see a little bit of intrigue there as they talk about the Antonio fortress. Named for Mark Antony, it is a Roman barracks, a Roman fortress. It's where Jesus was put on trial, where they beat him up, where they slapped him, where they played the games with him. When we went in that particular area, I guess you did too, Jordan, you saw the games carved into the tile floor, like tic-tac-toe, like you carve it in. The games that they played with Jesus are carved into the floor of the Antonio fortress. It's still there. You can still see it today. One last quote, now we'll let you go, or we'll start. The brother of Jesse, Simon Zelotes, they're having a little confrontation. You knew I was here, you didn't come see me, I've been laying here 38 years, etc., etc., etc. And Simon says, when you stand on 2 feet, I will know Messiah lives. So guess what's going to happen? He's going to stand on his own 2 feet, and he knows that Messiah lives, and now then he will become probably the 11th apostle that we have been introduced to. The only thing we got left is Judas Iscariot. Judas Ishkaroth. Ish is Hebrew for man. Karoth is a village. Judas, the man from Kerith. Judas Iscariot. And he too was an extreme right-winger. Let's give him a little bit of a benefit of a doubt. He's a zealot, a right-winger, okay? So when you stand on your 2 feet, I will know Messiah lives. We're looking at the Feast of Tabernacles. We'll be talking about the Antonio fortress, about the secret police, about zealots, and the plan to kill a Roman official, okay? Any thoughts or comments? All right, I'm going to try to do this. They've moved me up a week, so I will try to do this for next week as well. It might be abbreviated, or I might get Jordan to do it or something like that, but we'll see how that works out, okay? Go back and get more food if you want to. While we're going to turn the lights off, though. So everybody got it all straightened out? Somebody hit the lights. Brad, you hit the switch, and here we go.